Welcome back to another episode of the Western Ontario Super Hockey League podcast. I am Andrew Rogers, your host, and it's great to be back with you guys once again. We have reached the highest point of the mountaintop of the Western Ontario Super Hockey League. It's the Senior League Senior League Cup or Super League Cup, excuse me. That's the one. Super League Cup finals between the Tillsonburg Thunder and the Stratford Fighting Irish. We are there, folks. We have reached that point, and boy, the excitement is in the air. It's coming. Game 1 Saturday, 4:30 at the Allman. It's going to be quite the matchup between the 3-seeded Stratford Fighting Irish and the 4-seed Tillsonburg Thunder. But yeah, guys, a lot to go through in this episode. We do have video highlights for you. 2 games, courtesy of 509 Sports Online, does a great job. They did a wonderful job covering our league. They do, as they did all season long, but they did a great job. They provided video highlights for games 6 and 7. While I provided highlights for game number 5, as I was there in attendance to do play-by-play. So, so we have video highlights from those. Quite pretty unbelievable, Tilbury and Tillsonburg, boy, they really went punch for punch. 4 of the 7 games were 1-goal games, decided by 1 goal or less. 2 games went to overtime. Man, could have been anybody's series, that's for sure. But hats off to both the Tillsonburg Thunder and the Stratford Fighting Irish for making it to the Super League Cup. So that's what we're calling it. So great episode of the podcast coming up here. So we'll do our video highlights for you. We'll get you updated on where we stand when it comes to, I'll show you the bracket. Nothing to show there, just the fact that there is a final and how we got to this point. I will show you also the how we match up in our matchup with the tail of the tape is there for both Stratford and Tillsonburg. And we'll go through the schedule as well, which has been released. And I will give you an update on the playoff leaders for scoring for points. We had a couple of guys that really kind of took the ball and ran with it from the Thunder in Mike Rebry and Jake Brown. They just went off the charts against the Tilbury Bluebirds. So we'll get you caught up on all of that. We do have a couple guests for you on this week's edition of the podcast as well. From the Stratford representing Stratford Fighting Irish, their head coach Jamie Petrie is joining us, and we also speak with one of the head coaches of the Tillsonburg Thunder, Trevor Rosborough, former player, and now a joint head coach over in Tillsonburg. So he'll be joining us as well on this week's edition of the podcast. I'm Andrew Rogers, your host, and it's great to have you guys along with us. Let's show you highlights of this past week in the WOSHL playoffs.
We are ready for hockey. The Tillsonburg Thunder and the visiting All Blacks, and the Tilbury Bluebirds and the home whites. Starting in goal for the Tillsonburg Thunder, number 31, Jesse Raymond. Starting in goal for the Tilbury Bluebirds, number 31, Ryan Polidori. No? Okay. Tilbury leads in the best of 7, 3-1. They could clinch a berth in the WOSHL finals with a win. Tillsonburg looking to stay alive, forcing a game 6 back at Tillsonburg on Sunday. We're ready for puck drop here in Tilbury, and away we are. To be Winkworth against Rebry. This one's controlled by Tillsonburg. Now it's Weston down to Brown. Brown on the backhand. Now he puts it in the middle. Weston couldn't get a shot away, but he'll go to the corner. Weston on the backhand plays it, tried to play it down low to Rebry, had it intercepted. Now we're going to get our first penalty of the game, and it's going to go to the Tillsonburg Thunder. Saving! Oh, what a save by Jesse Raymond! Glove saving a beauty by the Thunder netminder. But the Thunder are going to take the first penalty of the game. He'll put it across. Winner was going to the bench, and he couldn't take the pass. Here comes the Thunder the other way. Shot. Stop. Rebound. Still loose. Another save. Another one, and it's in. Thunder get the icebreaker here in Tilbury. It's 1-0 Tillsonburg. And I believe with the hand-eye coordination of a baseball player, it's Jake Brown from the Thunder getting the icebreaker and scoring with 12-12 remaining here in period 1. This or not, but I'll try. This one's centered, all off the crossbar. That was number 10, Mitch Brown with the shot, and it rung off the crossbar here in Tilbury in behind the net of Brian Polidori. Wow, what a chance for the Thunder. Fitzmaurice at the line, can't get the puck out. Tilbury trying to get set up on this power play. Austin Jennings now with the puck. He'll play it back to Cravatin. Cravatin into the middle to Roth. He'll get the puck back. Cravatin shoots, blocked, rebound. Ratchford tried to play it up the boards. They fight for it in the corner. Tilbury will get control of this puck, and it's Shagrintsev. Shagrintsev holds onto it, looks in front. Oh, what a save by Raymond. What a pass, though, by number 13, Slava Shagrintsev. With a victory, Tilbury would clinch a spot in the WOSHL finals against Stratford. Centering, Shagrintsev, backhand scores! Wow, what a move! And the Tilbury crowd goes crazy. Winkworth. Bluebirds have some momentum here. Let's see if they can't get another one. Shot! Scores! 13 seconds of hope. Stefan Crevier. 2-1 Bluebirds. I want it on the record that I called that. McGuffin goes off. Player comes on. And now here comes Eric Winter. He's got Hughes with him. Winter shoots. Oh, it's off the crossbar and out. Wow, that was close. What a shot from Eric Winter. Gets the puck again. So Winkworth, what a shift for him. So he tried to get a break on that play, but he couldn't. Now here's Cravatin, steps in, shoots. Glove save and a beauty from Jesse Raymond. Cravatin had all day, and he tried to pick the corner on the glove hand side of Raymond, and Raymond does a nice job to get a glove on it, make a save. And oh, it's going to be a Tilbury, 3-on-1 and across the line. Cravatin across, no shot there. Shagrintsev had his stick lifted and couldn't get a good shot away. Into the middle now. Here comes Fitzmaurice across. Has Jake Brown. Shoots, scores! Jake Brown! Tilsonburg ties it up at 2 with 6:10 to go here in the second period. What a shot from number 21, Jake Brown. Jake Brown picks it up again. Back to Rashford. Power play winding down. Rashford again shoots, saved by Polidori, and we're back to even strength now. Good kill by the Bluebirds. There's a shot deflected in, just wide. Good job by the Bluebirds. That's a big kill to start this period. Centering pass, it's in! Jake Brown with the hat-trick goal! The Thunder have taken the lead, it's 3-2. McIntyre, but he still has the puck. Leaves it for Abraham, who throws it over to Jake Brown. Brown, oh, he had Weston, but it was out of his reach. Down low, Rebry again. Thunder putting on some immense pressure here in the Tilbury zone. Centering shot, scores Weston! What a feed from Mike Rebry to number 22, Matt Weston. He blasted by Polidori, and it's 4-2 Thunder. Jennings into the middle. Ryan Roth in the corner. Back to Cravatin. Cravatin over to Roth. Roth, no shot yet. Into the middle, what a save by Raymond. Whoa, big 10-bell save from Jesse Raymond there on Mitch Van Teeling in front. Wow, what a save. With Mitch Brown in the box for the hook. Over to McIntyre, loads up shot. Good save, rebound is in. Mike McIntyre, number 55, on the power play scores. And it's a 4-3 game here in Tilbury. So with 12:21 to go, power play goal for the Bluebirds. We know they can score. They don't need a lot of time to do it either. Easy now, easy. 16.8 to go. Whoa, whoa. Gonna reset here. They drop the puck. Tilsonburg gets it out. 8 to go. Here comes Ryan Roth. No shot, it's in the corner. It's played out, and Tilsonburg survives. There will be a game 6 in Tilsonburg on Sunday at 4:30. Tilbury lead in the series is down to 1, it's 3-2.
It's Game 6 of the Western Ontario Super Hockey League semifinal matchup between the Tilsonburg Thunder and the Tilbury Bluebirds. The Thunder able to rally on the road and force Game 6 on home ice on Sunday afternoon. The Bluebirds looking to clean up the series and avoid a winner-take-all Game 7 on Tuesday. The pair battling for a berth in the championships against the Stratford Fighting Irish. First period against the Thunder coming out flying on home ice. This is Mitch Fitzmaurice in the opening minute. He gains the line and lets a clapper fly, and Fitzmaurice rips it in! That's a great start for the Thunder, and they're in front early. Then it's Tilsonburg looking for more, but watch the Bluebirds netminder Ryan Polidori. He reads the play and dives out with a great poke check to break up the chance. The Bluebirds back the other way here on the forecheck. Jesse Raymond pokes it away, but it's right to Mitchell Van Teeling in the slot. Jesse Raymond, flailing on the ground, makes 2 fantastic saves, and it stays 1-0 Tilsonburg. Some good work from both netminders, and the goaltending show would continue. Watch Ryan Polidori. He stones Matt Weston on the breakaway. Late in the frame now, and it's the Thunder breaking through on this play. Watch the trailer. Chris Knotts plays a low shot on net. Curtis Christo blasts it through the goal mesh. That's a big goal from Christo, and it's 2-0 Thunder. The Bluebirds right back the other way, looking to fight back before the second. Here's Nick Tetro with some space on the wall. He snaps it on net, and it's off the post and in! That's a good snipe from Tetro, and the Bluebirds cut the Thunder's lead in half, heading to the second. In the second period now, Thunder power play, and it's a good setup for Jake Brown. He finds the puck back door, and he slams it home, restoring the 2-goal lead for the Thunder. Tilbury power play now looking to answer. Braden Roberts loses his stick, so Vyacheslav Chek-Grincev has a wide-open shot from the slot, and it's money from Vyacheslav! That goal makes it 3-2 Thunder, and the Bluebirds wouldn't stop there. Moments later now, and it's more from the Tilbury power play. Watch Austin Jennings for the setup. He plays it out front to Jeff Burridge, and Jeff's tip is perfect! That's the equalizer for Burridge, and we're all tied up at 3 each. Still in the second, the Birds back on the power play, but look out for Mitch Brown. He steps ahead of the defense, but he's hooked down and awarded a penalty shot. On that penalty shot, Mitch Brown swings wide, cuts out front, and looks 5-hole, and he's got it! That's the go-ahead goal for Brown, and it's 4-3 Thunder. Head to the third period now and watch the Tilsonburg captain, Mike Rebrey. He collects the puck and fires 5-hole, and Rebrey's got another, so it's 5-3 Thunder. The Bluebirds not down and out yet, however, still fighting for the comeback, and here on another power play, Austin Jennings rips it off the wall. It's back on his tape, and he hammers it in! So the Bluebirds are once again within 1. And later in the third, how about Michael McIntyre from the point? He rips it off the post and in! That ties the game up at 5-5, and this one's headed to overtime. Midway through the extra frame now, this is Andrew Tapsell on the near boards. He spots out Jake Brown flying in for the OT winner! It's a huge goal for Jake Brown and the Thunder as they keep the series alive and force Game 7. Andrew Tapsell and Jake Brown coming up clutch in overtime. And we're going the distance. Game 7 is on Tuesday in Tilbury. Let's head to Tilbury for Game 7 of the Western Ontario Super Hockey League semifinal playoffs. The Tilbury Bluebirds back in front of the home crowd looking to stave off the surging Tillsonburg Thunder. The Thunder, one win away from completing the reverse sweep and returning to the championships for another shot at the title. Tillsonburg riding the momentum from a huge overtime win in Game 6. Jumping right into the action, how about this start for the Thunder? Todd Ratchford circles the Bluebirds' net and he sets up Mike Rebry for the opener. It's the Tillsonburg captain leading the way for the Thunder, and they wouldn't stop there. Only 30 seconds later and it's more Thunder offense. Chris Knotts picks it up off the draw and plays it on net. Mitch Brown slams it in. It's 2 quick ones for the Thunder, and they're out to an early 2-0 lead. And the Thunder's offense would keep coming. Watch the steal from Mike Rebry. He protects the puck and sets up Jake Brown for another. It's 3 in the first 10 minutes for the Thunder, and they're flying in the first. Back come the Bluebirds looking to turn the momentum, and how about a great check? Vyacheslav Chingrintsiv levels his man, breaking out of the Tillsonburg zone. Lay in the frame now and watch the setup from Stefan Crevier. He spots out Evan Weber, and Weber gets the Birds on the board, so it's 3-1 Thunder, heading to the second. In the second now, and keep your eyes on number 90 for the Bluebirds, Austin Jennings. He's on a sharp angle, and he rips a clapper, and it's a roof shot from Jennings. What a shot from Austin Jennings, and Tilbury pull back within 1. Then it's a Thunder power play, and here's Jake Brown on the rush, looking to keep pace with the Bluebirds. He's got space, and he's got a beauty! And the Thunder take a 4-2 lead. The Bluebirds no strangers to comebacks. This series look to battle back here on a power play of their own. It's tic-tac-toe to Ryan Cravaden, and the Bluebirds are back within 1. And late in the second, they'd equalize. This is Jeff Burge speeding down the wing and jamming a wraparound on net, and Burge gets it to go. It's the Bluebirds rallying from an early 3-goal deficit, and we're all tied up at 4-4. In the third now, the Bluebirds pressing for their first lead of the night here on a 3-on-1. The puck goes wide, and the Thunder look to counterattack on a fast break. Mike Rebry carries it up ice, and he wires a clapper straight to the goal mesh. It's huge from the Thunder's captain in the third, and it's 5-4 Tillsonburg with 13 minutes left on the clock. Tilbury back the other way, and they need a goal. And how about Mitchell Van Teeling? He's wide open in the slot, and Van Teeling lights up the Tilbury arena. The home crowd are roaring for Van Teeling, and we're all tied up at 5-5. Final minute of the third now, and watch the patience from Jake Brown. He floats in, pulls it past the defense, and the Tillsonburg Thunder are going to the championships. Jake Brown coming up clutch with his hat-trick goal, and the Thunder complete the reverse sweep. What a game and what a series, as Game 7 ends with a final score of 6-5 on Tuesday night. The Thunder move on to face off with the Stratford Fighting Irish in the WOSHL Championships.
So yeah, guys, once again, big ups to 509 Sports Online for helping us out and doing a great job with the video highlights there of games 6 and 7. But wow, what an unbelievable series between the Thunder and the Tilbury Bluebirds. Tillsonburg becoming the first team in WOSHL history to come back from an 0-3 deficit in a best-of-7 series to win it. So they will take on the Stratford Fighting Irish, who swept off the Elora Rocks in their semifinal. They haven't played in a while, so they'll be eager to hit the ice this Saturday at the Allman at 4:30. But yeah, guys, like I say, unbelievable. Hats off, like I say, to Tillsonburg coming back. Hats off to Tilbury on an unbelievable season, in which case they had the league's best record. No one can take that title away from them. And they'll be back strong next year, no doubt. But a world-class organization over there. Can't say enough good things about Tilbury Bluebirds. But yeah, guys, like I say, Tillsonburg and Stratford are Super League Cup finalists, and they will do battle in a best-of-7 starting on Friday in Stratford. But like you see, guys, this is how we started, and this is where we are. So for Tillsonburg, defeating the Strathroy Jets 3-1 in their best-of-7, and to move on, or sorry, three games to 1 in the best-of-5 quarterfinal, and then defeating the Tilbury Bluebirds in 7 games in the semifinal to get to the finals. For the Stratford Fighting Irish, a 3-1 series win in the quarterfinal against the Erin Blitz, who are now the Orangeville Blitz, and then a 4-0 series sweep against the defending champ, the Elora Rocks. That's how they got there. So, But that's how our two teams got to where they are now. And here's the tape, as you guys can see. You have the Thunder 17-7 on the season. Jesse Raymond and Matt Segrot, nice little goaltending duo over there. Very, very strong, very capable. Matt leading the goalies in wins with 11. You had Jamie McQueen leading all scorers for the Thunder with 41 points in the regular season. He makes his return in game number 1 after serving a suspension in round 2, and he will be ready to go in game number 1 from the sounds of it. Yes, Tilsonburg also scoring the most goals in the WOSHL League this past season, and they will look to bring that high-octane offense against one of the other formidable foes, if you will. Stratford Dynamite. They are quick, they are fast, they are skilled, and they also have a very good goaltending tandem. Stratford finishing 18-6 in the third seed, so they have home ice in this best of 7. Darren Smith 8-2, Zach Weir 9-3. Darren Smith was wonderful in the second round against the Elora Rocks, but Zach Weir right there just in case. You had Captain Ray Robbins leading the Irish in scoring this past season with 36 points. Graham Brulot, his line mate, right there with 35. Look for playoff leading scorers for the Irish, Cameron Stokes and Cooper Leach, to have big series against the Tilsonburg Thunder in the finals. Let's take a look at our schedule here. Like I say, it does get underway this upcoming Saturday at the William Allman, 4:30 puck drop there. The Thunder and the Irish. So Stratford does have home ice in this series. They will alternate. Game 2, Saturday, April the 15th in Tilsonburg at 7:30. Sunday, April the 16th, Tilsonburg is in Stratford to take on the Irish in game 3. 6:30 is the start time in that one. The series will then shift back to Tilsonburg for game number 4. That'll happen on Friday, April the 21st. 8 o'clock will be the puck drop there. Game 5, if necessary, back in Stratford. 4:30 start on Saturday, April the 22nd. Game 6, if necessary, will be in Tilsonburg on the April the 28th at 8:30. And then on Saturday, April 29th, Game 7, if all the way necessary, will happen in Stratford at 3 o'clock. That'll be the puck drop there for the potential last and final game of the season. It's the last date of the season, if it does go the distance, which this person's opinion, I could see that happening, where this series will go the distance and we will find a winner in game 7 back in Stratford on the 29th of April. The last slide I want to show you guys here before we get into it is our playoff leading scorers. Mike Rebry, the captain of the Tilsonburg Thunder, has been absolutely phenomenal this postseason. 6 goals, 14 assists for 20 points. His line mate Jake Brown, an unreal series against the Tilbury Bluebirds. He is up to 14 goals. He's the only goal scorer, the only player with double-digit goals in the playoffs this 2023 playoffs. 14-4 for 18. You have Ryan Roth at Tilbury, who finished with 15. Jamie McQueen, who sat out the last 3 games against Tilbury, is at 14. Cameron Stokes, like I said, 5-8 for 13. You have Cooper Leach there with 8-3 at the bottom with 11 points. And then you have the Tilbury Bluebirds, who exit out of the playoffs after round number 2 semifinal. You have Ryan Roth, 7-8 for 15. Mitch Van Teeling, 4-9 for 13. Ryan Kerbatten, 4-7. Austin Jennings was 4-7 for the Bluebirds. Great showing by them. But ultimately, it was the Tilsonburg Thunder and their playoff experience that was able to take them into the finals against the Stratford Fighting Irish. Again, this series is going to be excellent. Let's start with the Thunder. Again, we can look at them from the way out. You have a Jesse Raymond right now who has the hot hand, and he went 4-1 in the Tilbury series after taking over for Matt Segrot. So imagine him to start game 1 for the Thunder. Jesse Raymond, number 31, who's got a lot of experience with this Thunder team. And like I say, expect him to get the start in game number 1. On the defense, the tandem of Ryan Martinelli and Todd Ratchford, number 88 and number 19, respectively, their top unit on the defense. They also have some really good secondary defensemen in Justin Abraham, Chris Knotts, excellent on the defensive end as well. The big question mark is Brandon Barletta, and when he will return for the finals, which the Thunder expect to have him at some point. But he was a workhorse all season long, one of the top defenders in the WOSHL during the regular season. He wears number 5. He hasn't played since, I believe, game number 2 or 3 of the Tilbury Bluebirds series. So they'll be itching to get Brendan Barletta back on defense. Up front, the top unit of Mike Rebry, Jake Brown, and Matt Weston really came to life in the Tilbury series, and expect them to have a big impact on how this final shakes out. The big question mark is obviously Jamie McQueen in his return to the lineup after missing the last 3 games against the Tilbury Bluebirds. McQueen banged up in the series. Obviously, has had a really tough season in terms of being on the perseverance side of things, but he did lead the team in scoring with 41 points in the regular season, and expect him to have a big finals appearance, no matter how banged up he is. I think the dark horse here is Mitch Fitzmaurice, who wears number 16. I think he is going to be an X factor in terms of offense, and look for him to be dynamite for the Thunder and be a key cognate if this Thunder team was to win and be victorious in the finals this year. On the Stratford Fighting Irish side of things, we'll start with the goaltenders there as well. And again, one of the better goaltending tandems on both sides for Stratford, no less here. Again, Darren Smith had an unreal regular season, was undefeated until the final 2 starts of the year. And then he has really turned it on against the defending champ, Laura Rocks, and he was excellent in that series. Expect him, he needs to be good against the Thunder and their experience and their shooters. He needs to be a big difference maker in between the pipes for Stratford, especially in game number 1. On defense, this defensive unit for Stratford was unreal in their second round series against the Allura Rocks. Between Riley Coombe, Sean O'Brien, Matt Fuller, Zach Tierney, Mitch Casey, and Matt Granger. Man, talk about 6 guys on defense that could play in any team's top 4. These guys are outstanding, and they're going to need to be good against the Thunder, no question about it. Stratford, they're going to need to continue to get offense from their top 2 lines. They are really going to need to continue to pace this offense. Cooper Leach, Brody Smith, and Dylan Buckholtz on the second line there is as good a second line as any. The Stratford's top line of Ray Robbins, Graham Brulot, and Cameron Stokes are absolutely dynamite and difference makers, no question about it. I believe that the biggest line that's going to make the biggest difference for Stratford to win or lose is going to be the line of Matt Petrie, Colin Martin, and Sebastian Noguera. How they're going to shut down, who they're going to play against, and what kind of difference they're going to put up. But those guys are a pest to play against, and they're going to make life difficult for the Thunder, I would imagine so. And you know what? Watch out for Ty Campbell. He's got a lot of experience, having played for the Allura Rocks last year in their championship run. Look for him to be a difference maker. And he, again, talk about another guy that you hate to play against, but you love to have on your team. So expect him to be big for the Irish as well. But that's how the 2 teams stack up, and it's going to be one hell of a final. Like I say, guys, we're going to move on here. We have a couple of great interviews coming up here, and we're going to get those started. All right, folks, very pleased to be joined at this time from Tillsonburg Thunder, head coach. It's kind of a 1A, 1B system they got going on over there, but Trevor Rosborough joins us here from the Thunder. Trevor, it's great to have you on. Thanks for jumping onto the podcast with us, and welcome.
Thanks for having me. It's my privilege.
Hey, you know what? The pleasure's all ours. Definitely. Well, first of all, I want to get this out of the way. Congratulations to you and the whole Tillsonburg Thunder organization on making this year's, Super League Cup final. You guys are going up against the Stratford Fighting Irish in the finals that begin on Saturday at the Allman at 4:30. Take us through what this has been like for you since coming on board, because again, to jump ship or to jump into it in the middle of the season and then come in and do what you guys have done is nothing short of impressive.
Yeah, well, thanks for the congratulations. It was really an exciting opportunity for me. I love the guys on the team, the ones that I knew before as a player, and the guys that they've brought in since. So I was just excited looking at the opportunity to join an elite club and help them achieve what I know they're capable of.
And yeah, like you say, it's again, finish off the season strong. Strathroy Jets, a tough first round matchup, 4 versus 5. They really kind of took you to the limit there, didn't they? That Strathroy Jets first round series.
Yeah, they're a highly skilled club. As their second year in the league, I feel like they had something to prove for themselves, and we met their challenge. We have an answer for anything someone brings.
And then that's clear and evident if you look at round number 2. I mean, so not only do you guys, yeah, like obviously, anytime you fall down 3-0 in a series, it's like, oh man, you start to have a lot of doubt creep in at that point. Maybe you do, maybe you don't, depending on the person, depending on the player, whether they've been there before, that sort of thing. But again, Tilbury, a tough team, finishing first in the league, no slouch. They go out 3-0. You guys, start to inch back. It starts with that 5-3 win in Tilsonburg, and then the next three, man, holy smokes, talk about pins and needles. 1-goal games, each one of them. And yeah, you're the first team in WOSHL to come back from an 0-3 series deficit in a best-of-7. No easy feat. I mean, any other of the major sports out there, that's a tall order, man. Like, what can you say about the Tilbury series in your opinion?
Well, it speaks to the character that we have collectively as a team, and it also demonstrates the intensity that's building in our club, and that's only compounding.
Right.
So there is a palpable um, intensity that's just coming to boil with these guys, and so that was really the beginning of, I think, the realization from each guy that
Right.
everybody's going to go to the extreme necessary, and they can count on one another to do that.
And what I'm wondering, Trev, as well, is like obviously the way I kind of scripted this whole series was you had a newcomer in Tilbury and an experienced foe in Tilsonburg. You guys with a bundle of experience having come from a different league and organization before joining WOSHL in your second year. Not only that, but you guys made it to the finals last year. No slouch of an accomplishment. Obviously, you don't get the result you want because you guys fall to Elora in 6 games last year.
Yep.
But there has to be some sort of hunger and fuel that adds to that when it comes to your team staging this epic comeback in this best-of-7 series against a very difficult top team in Tilbury.
Well, absolutely. There were guys that felt the sting all summer and all season from last year. And some of those guys really rose to the occasion during the Tilbury series. And I think part of their fuel was the sting of defeat
Right.
and not wanting to go back to, having to look at another year to reach the championship. So those leaders really showed what they're made of during that series.
Well, I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, again, there's so many layers that we could talk about here. Obviously, we talked about some of them and when I was down in Tilbury and I was speaking with you. One of the big things that I noticed, and I think a lot of people can echo this, is that you guys had one of the better goalie tandems in the league this year in Matt Segrat and Jesse Raymond. Jesse's the veteran. Matt just come in for for his first year in Tilsonburg this year. Matt did a really hell of a job this year. He had a great record. Great numbers all around, was really a workhorse in net there. Jesse, by his standards, probably didn't have the stats that he was hoping for. But again, for him to come in the way he did I mean, holy smokes. Talk about a guy that just takes the ball and runs with it, being not necessarily the catalyst, but I mean, speak to his play because I thought he was fantastic.
Yeah, he was outstanding. There's no question that we have, in my opinion, the best tandem in the league. Um, just as an example, in Tilbury when their starter had a little incident where he was maybe should have come out of the game, but refused to. Um, Maybe showed the lack of confidence in their backup. And just to juxtapose that with our tandem, there's no situation where I wouldn't feel comfortable in any environment at any time in any game going with either Sags
Mhm.
or Razor.
Right. And yeah, like I say, I thought again, and it seemed like the guys really rallied around Jesse because they knew like, and obviously Jesse's one of those guys. I've talked to him a bunch of times outside of here, like, and I, again, he's just one of the good friends that I have in this league. But again, I know he's battled injuries and he's had his fair share of downfalls, if you will. But for him to come back, that's got to feel so good for him. In terms of this goalie matchup, though, I think it's going to be really good between you guys and Stratford in the finals. They got a couple really good, they got a good goalie tandem over there as well. I mean, obviously, that's a great hot debate. Do you think the goaltending will decide the series, or do you think there's something bigger there?
Well, I mean, um, it's always going to be a factor. And I've said to the guys since I started that we need an adversity response. That might be from a bad call, that might be from a missed call, that
Right.
might be from a bad play, it might be from a bad call by me,
Mm-hmm.
and it could be a bad goal. And even an outstanding goalie might give up a weak goal, and we'll just rally around whoever is in net if that happens,
Right.
and it won't slow us down. So I think obviously goaltending is going to be a factor, but it's what response we have when we're challenged with any situation, and that's what will be the difference.
Absolutely, well said, and that's a great point. One thing I also wanted to point out and make sure that we spoke about is this all of a sudden you had this blast from your captain Mike Rebry, who just went off on the Tilbury Bluebirds. He seemed to step up his game to a whole nother level. And then
Yeah.
if you want to continue that point, talk about Jake Brown. I mean, the dude's got 14 so far in the postseason, and he's right there with Rebry at the top of the playoff scoring leaderboard. I mean, again, for those guys to step up, especially in the wake of Jamie's suspension, I mean, that's got to be a great ace to have in the pocket when it comes to a series that you're battling back from, and then ultimately coming all the way back from to win it and advance.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing I can say to really give them the credit that they're due. But Mike is an absolute thoroughbred. And the more he's relied upon, the stronger he gets. And you could see that.
Right,
Jake Brown, same way, uh, different in the term. He's not as excitable
right,
as Raps,
right,
but there is like JB, he's got the patience of a Tibetan monk with the puck,
right.
and you just can't teach that. And I think he excels under pressure because he has that temperament that just makes him a natural goal scorer under
Right.
pressure.
And then yeah, like the big X factor, if you will, in this series, I think it's going to be the return of Jamie McQueen because again, Jamie was your workhorse all year, led your team in scoring 41 points. He's a 4 point player. For those of you who know, they know. He's a difference maker in every aspect. Obviously banged up. We don't have to disclose that, but again, getting him back into this lineup that you guys already have that is already rolling, if you will. I mean,
Mhm.
again, what's your take on Jamie and like how big of an importance is he going to be at his game for this series in the finals?
No question that he'll play a pivotal role in our success. Jamie sees the game in 3D, so to speak.
Right.
Actually, almost like 4D. And so we can rely on him to help us see things. We can rely on him to make some critical plays without the puck. The more they key on him, the more we've got other guys open as well.
Right.
So he's a multi-dimensional player, and he will be uh, able to elevate the team and his own play
Mhm.
to meet any challenge that they put to us.
Fair point. I like it. Well said. In terms of your opponent, like what do you know about them? And I guess if you could, what would be your biggest priority to overcoming a very good Stratford team? Because I think really on paper it seems even keel no matter which way you look.
Hmm. Yeah, our team is just so much deeper than paper.
Right.
And I think that will prove to be one of the difference makers. The way the guys are gelling together, the bond that they're forming in the room, the energy that is just compounding. Uh, I I wouldn't want to play us,
Right.
um, and so. Uh, th- it's just coming together the right way at
Yeah.
the right time.
Do you think there's any truth to maybe this theory in that, you guys might be a little bit more ready to go considering the series you just had, considering it's not that long ago that you played and you haven't had the layoff that Stratford has had. Is there any truth to maybe being a bit of rust maybe on Stratford's side and not on your guys' side? Is that something that you look to take advantage of in game number 1 on Saturday?
Oh, absolutely. We'll take advantage um, of anything that we can identify as opportunity. I would say though that my message to the guys will be to not take that as don't take that as opportunity to be a little lackadaisical.
Right.
Um, the challenge I think we have to be mindful of is it was such a exciting win that we want to make sure that we didn't have a dopamine dump
Right.
and all of a sudden all of our excitement was expended with that excitement of the victory in seven and the big comeback.
Right.
So so our mindset will be reset
Right.
and it will be, start. We're going to come out absolutely signaling and sending a message that we're ready.
Mhm.
What they are doesn't matter to us.
Right. No, hey, that's and again, well said, Trev. A very good point there. And again, what I'm curious about is obviously going to be that first 5 minutes in Stratford on Saturday because I
Hmm.
mean, again, that building I'm hoping will be electric. I'm hoping it'll be full. Obviously, with Easter weekend, you might have some more fans in attendance. Hopefully,
Yeah.
and again, I just think it's really a matter of who brings it most in that first 5 minutes. Um, do you would you say it's fair to say that this series could go the distance considering that how well, like how even you guys stack up again on paper?
Hmm. Yeah, I think it's fair to say it's a possibility,
Right.
but I like our odds
Mhm.
in making that less probable.
Right. No, I get that. I completely understand. Um, Trev, from a personal standpoint, for you when it comes to hockey, like what does this mean to you to be a part of it? What does it mean to you to go to this final as a coach?
Mhm.
How different is it from when you were a player? And like, man, that's like what are you feeling right now when it comes to this preparation?
Yeah, I take it as it's really you know, I don't have a really impressive hockey resume. I
Neither do
have,
I.
yeah, I have some regrets from when I played 1 year at junior, and then I focused on school, and I said no, 2 or 3 times to teams that wanted me to come and play in junior, and then I had an injury when I was at the University of Windsor, and for me, personally, it's just a chance to, um, you know, sometimes there's guys on the bench, sometimes there's guys that could be, that could have played anywhere.
Mhm.
The greatest honor I have behind the bench is to be able to tap a guy on the shoulder during a game and let them know that, I believe in them. Um, to me, that's such an honor. Like, how
Right.
unique of an opportunity to just some days you need someone to believe in you.
I like
Even,
that.
even if it's the WOSHL,
Right.
my guys are gonna know that I care about them and that I see them. And even if it's something really small they've done well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna make sure they know I saw it. And
That's
they know
that's awesome.
Coach Trev believes in them. That's what
That's
they know from me.
No, man, that's awesome. That's so cool, dude. Honestly, and like I was like I love asking those kinds of questions because you get all kinds of different responses. But
Yeah, yeah.
that is the really the joy and the truth is that you get to be a part of something that could just turn out to be so cool, and just the possibilities are really endless when it comes to the ceiling. There is no ceiling, and that's what's so great about it.
Absolutely.
We've been
It,
talking with Tilsonburg Thunder, a head coach, shared head coaching duties, if you will, with Trevor Rosborough of the Tilsonburg Thunder, who start their Super League Cup final on Saturday at the Allman, 4:30 game number 1, best of 7 final. Trev, all the best of luck really to you. We will see you on Saturday.
yeah,
Good luck to the Thunder, and really best of luck in these finals. And I really hope that again, best of luck with that, and we'll see what happens. But it should be entertaining to say the least.
yeah, absolutely. Thanks so
Thanks,
much, Raj.
yeah, thanks for coming on and doing
Okay.
this. We appreciate it. Pleased to be joined on the Western Ontario Super Hockey League podcast. We are pleased to be joined, as I say, from WOSHL president and head coach of the Stratford Fighting Irish, Jamie Petrie. Jamie joins us here. It's great to have you on, pal. And hey, it's the peak of the mountain of the WOSHL season is the finals. First of all, congratulations on the Irish getting there, and congratulations on what has been another successful year for WOSHL.
Oh, thanks, and happy belated birthday to you, my friend. And yeah, we're sitting here last year, and it's year 2 already, and we're ready to go for a final. So excited.
Yeah, man, things are happening. Like I say, we're on the heels of what was an unbelievable semifinal between the Tilbury Bluebirds and Tilsonburg Thunder. I've already spoken with Trevor Rosborough on this podcast, and we had a good conversation there. You know what? That's like for me, Jamie, and honestly, I don't know, from a league perspective, I think that was about as good a semifinal as you could have asked for.
Absolutely. And we can go back to the first round. Aaron at now Orangeville played great in the first round. Plattsville, gave everything to Tilbury, and there's been some really good hockey. And
Mhm.
then you go with the 7 game, especially 3-0 one way and all the way back. No, unbelievable. The in crowd were both huge at both arenas, and then our sport fee numbers were outstanding. So yeah, great hockey, two great teams for sure.
Like you say, yeah, that's the thing, right? I mean, and you know what? I kept saying this all along, like when it came to Tilsonburg and Tilbury, like Tilbury was the upstart. They were the powerhouse throughout the year. They finished first, all that sort of stuff. They raced out to the 3-0 series lead, but then you can never count out experience. And Tilsonburg had a boatload of that. And again, what I loved about all those series is that they could have gone either way. They were 4 1-goal games, 2 that went to overtime.
Sure. And you look at Tilbury did have a great regular season and an unbelievable first year, but really from 1 to 4, there wasn't much difference
No.
in the standings. But yeah, no, Tilbury had a wonderful like I said, I'm repeating, but great first year. Joe Burney and the crew, great job. And the thing with Tilsonburg's the standard. Tilsonburg's the standard in our league.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. They've been around for 15, 20 years.
Right.
Mel Ryan and Michael Hawley do a phenomenal job. They're stacked. Their lineup stacked. No, they're the standard of the WOSHL. Simple as that. Back to back final appearances.
Well, and that was my next point, right? Is that, like, you know, again, you had to imagine that all those guys were hungry over there to get back and finish what was left there, because they did lose to the Allure Rocks last year in the finals. And there are still guys that have held over to the year two. And obviously, you know, again, they're boatloads of experience beyond that to fuel them to come back. They have a lot of firepower over there. But again, speaking from a league perspective, at the end of the day, like, how would you evaluate year two? I mean, obviously nothing but positives and continued growth, correct?
Year two is good. I mean, there's year two pains, there's year two gains. I think there's stuff that some serious talks in the off season that, you know, to say, look back and go, some really good stuff. And there's some stuff we still need to improve on. You know, one of the things that's going to be huge is, what direction do we go with expansion? You know,
that's the big question, right?
Well, there's such a fine line between quality and quantity, and you want both, but I would defer on, you want quality, and that's something that we really have to watch as we grow, and the members in our league who all vote on this. You know, there's some serious talks that way. Do I think we had a good year? I do. There's some hiccups in your first couple of years in leagues, and you know, the one thing that we do a great job of is social media. We do it. You know, you're part of that team, and you know, I think that we separate ourselves from some other leagues. But is the in-game experience? Is it? You know, I look at, we are such a good outlet for this age group, the 20 and up. But for the fans, we're entertainment. So where are people going to spend their entertainment dollars? I spoke about this many times. We have to be more than just a hockey league. We've got to be more than just a hockey game. And we have some teams that buy into it, some teams that don't. We have to be cautious that we're just putting out a hockey game, and there has to be more to the entertainment value. And again, I think we're rocking, but yeah, there's always improvement for sure.
No, I agree with you. And having been seeing the crowds and stuff like that, I mean, the numbers are there, and obviously they're coming out to support it. And obviously the talent on the ice is, well, you know my thoughts on that. But like, it's great to see that the support that this league has garnered, and it can only go up from here, I believe.
Well, you know, the applications, and like, as we said earlier about expansion, they're coming in steady. You know, the interest level, and again, there's interest here and there's interest there, but when you send an application and you send your deposit in, you mean business. So it's been great. You know, players that want to play for teams, the interest has been there. Corporate sponsorship has been good. So we have to be doing some things good, but like I said earlier, there's always stuff that we can improve on. But overall, long-winded, good year two. Let's see what the finals will bring us.
Yeah, and then that's what we're going to talk about here, the Super League Cup, sponsored by VMF Sportswear. So VMF Sportswear has just come on board. Can you touch a little bit on them?
Yeah, it's Vito out of VMF. It's just Italian through and through, but his ambition and is huge, and so he believed in our vision in the league, and he's come on board, and he does everywhere from everything from hockey, baseball, the whole kit and caboodle, and he's been real good for us already, and so we've signed a good two-year agreement with him, and teams have already started to order from him, and again, he's going to be good with apparel, you know, jerseys, the whole thing. But yeah, we need corporate sponsorship. We do. You know, our people in our, you know, our scorekeepers and our timekeepers and sport fee and everything. It all costs money. It costs money to run a league. And the one thing we pride ourselves on is teams can come in with a budget and a budget they can handle. Well, they can handle that because of corporate sponsors that help, you know, take some of the load off as far as financially. So yeah, we're looking forward to this presently with VMF and for the future as well.
Absolutely, and it's great to have them aboard. So let's switch topics to the Irish in this Super League Cup. which is going to be phenomenal. The Tillsonburg Thunder and the Stratford Fighting Irish. The way I see it, it's pretty even keel if you look at it on paper. I think you guys, the matchup there is as good as it could possibly get. From the goaltending all the way to the forwards, I believe it's pretty evenly matched. And you know what? I believe that the series probably will be determined within the first 5 minutes on Saturday, because it's all about who's going to come out of the gate quickly. It's all about who's going to strike first. But I mean, I'm of the opinion also that this series has the possibility of going the distance. What do you think about all that?
As I said earlier, Tilsonburg's a standard. I
Yeah.
mean, if anyone doesn't think we're an underdog, there's something wrong. You know, we've been around for just under 2 years. We have an established team in Tilsonburg for 20 years. They're loaded, top to bottom with talent. Our pointed system players.
Yep.
They'll max out every game. We won't. But are we proud of what we've accomplished in year two? Absolutely, we are. And we hope we can be competitive in the final. That's what we hope we can do. But no, they're loaded, and for them to end up in fourth was only because of injuries and so on and so forth. No, we're in tough in this one, and like I said, we'll go put our work boots on and try hard. But we're certainly underdogs. They are stacked.
And again, you're being modest here, and I can appreciate that, but
no, I'm not. No, modest. I give kudos where it is.
No, I agree.
In the battle, and we're going to try our hardest. And like I said, they're established hockey club.
Yeah,
they are loaded. And are we proud of what we've accomplished so far? For sure, in Stratford.
From an entertainment value, no question, this is going to live up to the hype, though, I think, and it's just going to be so much fun for both fans in Stratford and in Tillsonburg to watch. So from a Stratford perspective, where is it that this series is going to be won for you? In what area? Goaltending, defense, forwards, what?
I think we want to play a fast-paced game,
Sure.
and we want to try to slow down what they have. Is they're strong from their defense out. They move the puck up the ice real quick. So do we want to try to shut down the neutral zone? Sure we do, but it's not rocket science. We want to get good goaltending, and we want to try to utilize some of our speed, but they got everything we have too and more. So it's again, we hope to get some breaks and hope that we can cause some turnovers and see what we can do. So that's our key is we hopefully we'll leave everything on the ice and hopefully we get some good results.
Do you believe that rust will be a factor in game one, at least, given the fact that the Irish haven't played a competitive game in a while, and then obviously Tilsonburg's coming off this high of coming back after being down 3-0?
It's certainly the age-old question, and no matter if it's this league or other leagues, is what we hope is that we healed up some injuries and guys are fresh. But as you just said, there's momentum. There's guys that have played, like they played Tilsonburg played a high pace as of Tuesday night, so they're used to the grind and good on them. We hope they're tired, but they've already said enough. They're horses over there, so we hope we're not. And we've got in 2 practices, and we hope that it's the fresh part. That's for sure.
Right. And then, of course, the other element to this is the home ice, right? I mean, the fact that you guys were able to get the home ice advantage in this final, having finished third and them finishing fourth, how big of a role or a factor do you think home ice will play in this series?
Both teams can win, I think, at either rink, and is it nice that we can have some extra noise in our crowd? Absolutely. We love our arena. We love the energy, and I don't think it's any more than we get an extra gate, possibly in our
Right.
crowd. Because both, I don't think Tilsonburg told, oh, we got to go into Stratford. No, not at all. They're experienced and they'll play anywhere. They just proved it. They proved that Tilbury's it was a full packed barn, a hostile, and so they're not worried about coming into Stratford. Is it awesome to have our home crowd and the presentation we put on at games? Yeah, we're proud of that. We're certainly proud of what we put on game days. And so is it one more game possibly to showcase that? Absolutely.
So at the end of the day, Jamie, and again, you could put on both hats even here if you'd like, or just from a broad perspective, like after this is all said and done, like what is the takeaway from this season and on to the next? Like, obviously it's continued growth and everything like that. And but what is the takeaway? Like, do you consider it a successful year too?
Stratford or the league?
Well, for both, you could call it both. Like, I
Well,
mean, obviously for the league, I mean, you could chalk it up as being successful. For the Stratford Fighting Irish, you could say a championship is a success here.
yeah, and to me, championship, it's not championship or bust for Stratford.
True.
Again, I just mentioned how we are in it. We're in one for, our backs are against the wall and we're certainly underdogs. But as I've said before, we've made strides. Our attendance has got up. Our social media followers has got up. We're trying to build a culture in Stratford. Again, this is just our second year. So we have people reaching out to us that want to play for us. We have players with a smile on their face when they come to the rink. We were averaging over 20 guys at practice. So to me, all those are pluses. We have a strong sponsorship, partnership, crew, and we're starting to put on concerts, and we're going to get into some wrestling stuff. We'll get you there, but it's the whole thing in Stratford that we wanted to make a mark in our town.
Right.
And I believe that it's been check mark on that. We talked about it last year. We wanted a brand, check mark. We wanted a decent hockey club, check mark. We wanted a fan, some root there and some following, check mark. So yeah, I think it's been good. But again, we have to realize we're only in year two, and there's things we can improve on. But yeah, we're really happy where we are in Stratford.
And yeah, I guess the final point would be from a personal perspective. Like, what does this all mean to you on a personal level? Like, I mean, obviously this is huge. Second year for the Irish, you make it to the finals. You're there. You're going to be in the thick of it, like in the thick of battle, going up for a championship. I mean, there's got to be a personal element to you, like to this for you, that is pretty darn good.
Well, I wear some different hats with our team, and there's multiple people that wear different hats in our team, by the way.
Exactly.
But so as a coach, I'm 52. I still have some left in the tank. So I still have a compete meter. So yeah, we still want to go and compete, and I enjoy that. I enjoy the relationship with the players. I enjoy it practice. I enjoy the in-game experience. But looking at all the other stuff with our team is sometimes you have to take a step back and go, wow, I was I was sitting in the stands during our last game before, and I was sitting with two players in warmups, and and they were commenting on the how they get treated and so on, and they pointed over at two older people wearing our hoodies and stuff. That is just as important, and that gets me. It might sound a little hokey, but when you're at Joe's Diner having breakfast and you're seeing people walk in with T-shirts and hats and asking how the season's going and how the playoffs, that is what
That's
you
pretty
talk
cool.
about, a personal satisfaction. It's huge because we were a pipe dream 2.5 years ago. And again, I've said it many times in Stratford, we haven't had this age demographic since 1982. I think we've came back and like I said, we've made an impact in our town. That I take as much pride as being in the finals. Now, talk to me on Saturday and my compete meeting will take over as a coach.
Right.
But again, I'm being serious. We're pretty happy where we are in the community, and we have a great staff. We have 15, 16 volunteers that come out every Saturday that come out to the functions we want to run. And we get together to play golf. We get together to play poker. It's pretty cool to see those smiley faces come Saturday, that no one makes one dime, but they're willing to roll up their sleeves and try to put on a good show.
Well, and we can expect the Allman to be rocking on 4:30 on Saturday for Easter weekend as well. It's the Super League Cup, sponsored by VMF Sportswear. Game number 1 between the Stratford Fighting Irish and the Tillsonburg Thunder. This upcoming Saturday, game 1, 4:30 at the Allman. Jamie, any final thoughts before we let you go here, pal?
Nope, not at all. I wish everybody a happy Easter and get your turkey in. Try to do it before the game Saturday or after.
Yeah,
But we got a good group of teams that we have in our league, and we're, like I said, we're going to talk about growth and yeah, we're in year 2, and yeah, there's some stuff that we can improve on, but overall, there's some really good people in this league, and I think that we're making our mark in the demographic of age 20 and up. We're holding our own for sure.
Hey, well, there's no question about it. From a personal standpoint, you're doing a hell of a job, and congrats again on making the finals with the Irish, and congrats on year 2 and the continued growth of this league. It's great to have it, like, from a personal standpoint, coming back doing these podcasts, doing the play-by-play, all that sort of stuff. It's great to be involved in this, and I appreciate the work that you do and the effort that you put in. So, thanks
Well,
very much for that.
thank you. And I speak on behalf of Bill Ryan, who's my partner in all this. And we thank you for the job you did and continued. We'll work together and continue success, my friend.
All right, sounds good. We've been speaking with Jamie Petrie. Jamie, good luck on Saturday, and we'll talk to you again soon, pal. Thanks.
Thanks, Raji.
Yeah, guys. So once again, my thanks to Trevor Rosborough of the Tillsonburg Thunder and Jamie Petrie of the Stratford Fighting Irish for coming on board and speaking with us on this edition of the Western Ontario Super Hockey League podcast. The Super League Cup is going to be getting underway. Game 1 Saturday at the William Allman in Stratford. 4:30 is the puck drop between the Tillsonburg Thunder and the Stratford Fighting Irish. For all the marbles, it's a best-of-7 final. It should be amazing. I'm Andrew Rogers, the host of the podcast. I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and I've enjoyed bringing it to you. We will see you guys again next week to recap game number 1 and get you set up for games 2 and 3. We'll see you guys next week. Take care, everyone, and happy Easter.